What's up, everyone?
Oh yeah.
Welcome in. Welcome in. BTP's first NFL Draft Night special covering the first round. I'm your host, Burge, here with my arch nemesis. Nemesis. Can't even start. Off to a great
Let's
start
go.
here.
We're getting going early. Let's go.
Hogan, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good. Well, I'm good currently. Well, if that continues to happen is what I'm nervous about, depending on what our boys do. I'm interested to see how the whole draft goes in general, but specifically that number 3 pick, that's where my eyes are glued to right now. So
yeah, same here. I'm very nervous with all the smoke and mirrors that have been thrown around over the last I can't believe it's been 3.5 months, from 4 months since the Patriots season ended.
Yeah.
This is what we've all been looking forward to because our team stinks right now. So we are ready to go.
And we got on the clock. We're putting it up there for the ticker for you guys out there so you can see. We got the Bears on the clock. I think everybody on the planet knows who the Bears are going with. It's kind of a no-brainer, but it'll be interesting to see what happens after, I think, that, because Washington, realistically, I was talking to a lot of people today, and I do think the Washington kind of dictates how this draft is going to go, because it's kind of a general consensus. Everybody knows that Bears are 99.99% taking Caleb Williams. After that, whether the Commanders go with Jaden Daniels, Drake May, JJ McCarthy is a name that's been thrown out, I'll be shocked. But I mean, the reports are there. They literally, and the thing is, with Washington's made a lot of people angry from the sounds of it, especially Jaden Daniels, from what I'm hearing, is that like he's not thrilled with how they pulled that little stunt where they brought in a whole bunch of them at the same time. That I've never heard of a team doing that, honestly. That sounded like a JV kind of move right there, but it's Washington, so what do you expect? Sorry if there's any Washington fans out there watching, but not really. I don't care.
Well, we have reached that time. The Bears are officially on the clock.
There we
It is
go.
now past 8 o'clock. They are officially on the clock. I, for one, would love to see some chaos. Imagine if the Bears don't take Caleb Williams, or if they make a massive trade to a team that, like a Minnesota, that wants to move up to get a guy.
I feel
if we see something like that. I don't think it's obviously it's such a long shot at this point, given everything that's been talked about.
Yeah,
but
I'm thinking like, imagine if they hadn't traded Justin Fields by now. That would have made it a major mystery, because it would have been like, are they gonna go QB? Are they gonna go receiver? Like, they kind of, I feel like they showed their hand the minute they shipped him out to Pittsburgh the way that they did, where it's like, you kind of were like, okay, they're automatically going to be drafting a quarterback. They have to be taking a quarterback. Like, what else are they going to be doing at that number 1 pick? But it definitely would have added to the mystique, or the intrigue, I guess, if we didn't know who they were going with, if they still had Justin Fields on the roster. But otherwise, I hate to burst your bubble, they ain't trading that number 1 pick. That's no way in hell that's happening.
I just root for the chaos. I love the chaos on draft night, when you get these out of nowhere moves that, we've had so much lead up and speculation coming up to this thing, and it's like out of nowhere somebody trades up for a player that nobody even saw coming. And that, to me, is like the excitement of the draft night, is when the trades start coming in and maybe somebody reaches for a pick and it's like, oh man, they just screwed up the whole round of the draft. Otherwise, you're sitting here just watching the NFL's filler when it comes to this. There's so much filler when it comes to the first round of the NFL draft. They drag it out. I, for one, am not a huge fan of it. I love the fact that the Patriots, I shouldn't say I love it, but like, I'm happy I don't have to wait until 11:30 to see when the Patriots pick, just to stay up to watch them trade back. At least now, if they're going to trade back, they're not going to make me, lose sleep over it. But yeah, it's exciting. The Patriots themselves, as listeners to us know that we're Patriots heavy. We're Patriots fans. I'm wearing a Ramondre Stevenson jersey to represent. Unfortunately, the jersey I wanted to wear, the player's no longer on the team anymore. So Devontae Parker for my son to represent for him. And I know you hate that. I die on that hill. I wish the Patriots never traded him for that reason alone. God bless my in-laws for getting me that as a gift. And now I can frame it at least. It's a jersey I can keep even though he's not on the team, but I can frame it. And
I gotta at least say that I'm happy that my Hogan jersey still holds relevance with Chris Hogan. The way he at least earned a couple Super Bowls and made himself a worthy, addition to the team with his play. If anything, you when you had the Burgess jersey, the Derek Burgess jersey,
never actually bought one. I never actually bought one. I couldn't find one when they had it. I missed my opportunity. That was what were we like 18 at that point?
I don't care. That's
not even. I wanted it. Dude, I worked
at
Modell's. And they didn't get them. And I was so mad. I was so mad. That would have been prime. I was so amped when that happened.
Yep.
And I didn't get his jersey. And I could go customize one now and it would have some relevance to it. But it's not like he was some stud Patriot player,
Oh, no.
He was
but
here for
the fact that your last name is on your favorite team's jersey is like, I feel like as just a general fan, you have to be like, pull that trigger. Like, obviously my favorite number 71, but like the fact that even though Chris Hogan wore 15, I was like, I'm still getting his jersey just because there's a Hogan on the pads. Like, let's go.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh man. What are some surprises you think might pop up tonight? Well, obviously know the smoke and mirrors with the Vikings, the Raiders possibly moving up. The Broncos need a quarterback. Zach Wilson's not the answer in Denver. The Giants possibly looking for a quarterback. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I think that's why the Patriots are being so close to the chest about maybe trading the pick and maybe getting an offer if they're not in love with one of those guys.
Yeah, one team actually that came up today that I didn't think about, and I'll be interested to see if they have really any leverage to move up. But one team that jumped out at me that my coworker, my buddy, talked about was the LA Rams potentially being interested in moving up, because obviously you got to think about the subtraction of Aaron Donald, which was a huge loss. But then you think about it too, it's like they signed Jimmy G, who is a bazillion years old at this point, and then you got Stafford, who's a bazillion years old at this point. And granted, Stafford's been hurt forever, but it's like you got to replace him at some point going forward. And again, I'm curious with the Rams' track record of what they do with picks. I mean, they don't care. They will trade the farm to get what they want at that time. But I'm curious if they're actually going to pull the trigger. That's my kind of dark horse that I didn't think about before. But like, I'm curious to see if the Rams pull that trigger to try and enter the top 10 or do something to get, because I think they have the 19th pick, or no, maybe 22. I forget. I'll have to look it up. But either way,
the Rams are picking at 19.
19 isn't it? Okay, I was going to say I thought it was 19 or top like low 20s, but yeah, that's they're. I mean, McVay, he's crazy. He's crazy as a coach, but like, I mean, that GM loves to just pull the trigger. Where they got Von Miller that year, they went out and got Odell that year when they won the Super Bowl and everything. So, and they're not that far removed from that Super Bowl if you think about it. That was only 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was
2021.
Yeah, 21.
And granted, they've lost some pieces since then, but like I said, as a dark horse team that has the potential to kind of just show up out of nowhere, give me the Rams, I guess. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very interesting to see that happen. Again, I'm all for the chaos, man. That's what makes this whole part exciting.
Exactly.
Oh, just for disclosure to all of our watchers out there, we're not checking Twitter during this because we all know the NFL draft. The picks get leaked out before the broadcast happens. We're trying to react solely on the broadcast.
Yeah, naturally.
Roger Goodell is now on the stage. I'm guessing again, we have it muted, so we're not listening to it, but I'm guessing. And then Eminem's out there as well.
Of course.
Gotta love it.
Detroit, they gotta bring the hometown boy.
Yep. So that's So we'll see. He's going to probably kick off the draft, and hope. The thing is, like, especially this early in the draft, people know who they're taking. Yeah, they know who they're taking. Bears know who they're taking. Do they need to take the whole set of time? Probably not.
Realistically,
they're going to drag it out.
Well, that's the thing, is it's all for the show and the TV crap, and it's like, If
Yeah.
anything, it's these picks should really be like 5 minutes or less. And I like the way
Mhm.
they do it where the later rounds go, that they become less and less time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's all about what they want for the ratings and everything else. So
My anticipation is just killing me right now.
I
And
don't
I'm
know
gonna be
why.
really
Like I
mad
said,
if I'm this anxious and they trade back to like late in the round. I'm gonna be like,
a hot mess express.
just don't f this up, please.
No pressure.
Oh man, it's all about the show, man. That's all they're doing. It's like
Of course.
I can't. The NFL can't get out of their own way, dude. When it comes to this
All I
stuff.
know is if Taylor Swift shows up, I'm out.
Hey, we got to
She
bail. We got to
could.
bail, right?
She could.
Sorry, guys. Stream's cut short. Taylor Swift's there. Bye.
Yeah, right.
Barry Sanders in the house.
You think Megatron's coming next?
He might already be out there. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Jared Goff there.
Jared Goff. That's pretty
Aiden
bad.
Hutchinson,
If that's your
Aiden
pinnacle of like who you're bringing out as like a celebrity for our current team right now, like I'd rather see Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, okay, Aiden Hutchinson there. I was gonna say at least somebody of relevance on the team. I think that's unfair, I guess. Jared Goff, he's an interesting character where I feel like he got the wrong end of that stick with the way that things went down between the Rams and him. But again, kind of worked out, I guess, for both sides, really, because he went to a franchise that I think appreciates him with what he's doing with Detroit right now. I'm curious if he's going to be that guy that can get Detroit over the hump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Because he brought the Rams to that Super Bowl. Realistically, it wasn't. I wouldn't put too much on his back saying he brought them there. I mean, he was on the team. That defense, I feel like, got them there. And then, of course, the Saints realistically should have been the ones that ultimately went to the Super Bowl. That's a whole nother conversation to be had with that whole shenanigans that went down there. But I don't know. I'm genuinely curious to see if he's going to find sustained success with Detroit, because the way that they play and the way that Campbell coaches that team, especially how everything ended the way it did last year. I mean, to get as close as they did. Oh, of course, there's Megatron.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say the irony that Detroit is finally hosting the NFL draft and they are not picking until 29? Where they've been picking so high for so often and they weren't. Now they're just one of the better teams in the league and they're picking at the bottom of the draft. The irony of that to me is just like, wow, maybe New England needs to host a draft again to get back into that low that low draft range, right?
Oh, we got a little comment for here from one of my buddies, Hoplite, from my streaming. Hi, buddy. He's not familiar with us Americans in football. He's over in Europe land, but we appreciate you stopping in to say you agree with whatever the hell we're talking about.
That doesn't happen too often.
Well,
most of the time we can classify ourselves as idiots.
That's true. That's
At
true.
least you, anyway.
Wow. Oh, you're swinging early today, are you? Okay. All right. Well, 10 minutes. 10 minutes for them to take Caleb Williams?
Dude, that's how long the rounds are, man. And they're going to let it go all the way down.
That's so dumb. It'll be interesting to see if another team pulls. Who was it? The Vikings that didn't they let their time go by back in? Was that in the 2000s? Right? Didn't another team do it?
They expired. I think the Ravens might have did it too, or the Ravens benefited from the Vikings. I can't remember, but that was a pretty interesting situation when that happened.
Yeah, you telling me?
The Vikings missed the pick.
The Vikings, yeah. Well, they were technically still on the clock, but the other teams were able to leapfrog them. That was when it got crazy. Because I think there were like 2 more picks that happened before the Vikings finally got their pick in, which, how do you screw that up?
Yeah, so the way that went down was in 2003.
Travie, what's up, buddy? Let's go. You're a Jets fan, and we'll take you. I mean, for now, but that's okay. We'll accept anybody at this point. I know you're hoping for what? Brock Bowers out there? You want that tight end? we'll see if he goes in the top 10 to you guys. That'll be interesting to see where he ends up. I like him a lot from Georgia, but
Oh yeah, he's going to be a good prospect. But I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is only going to play 4 plays next year, his rookie season is going to be a waste. So
I something tells me I doubt Aaron Rodgers is only going to play for Pats and Jets suck.
Pats and Jets suck. We're in the same boat. He's actually right. If not, the Jets might actually be a little bit better. We'll see after tonight. But right now, that's an accurate statement. Unfortunately,
yeah.
But anyways, getting real quick back to that missed pick. If we see something like that ever happen again, it was 8th overall or 7th overall pick that they missed. They were trying to complete a trade with Baltimore and it failed.
Okay.
Jacksonville was picking 8. They took Byron Leftwich. Then Carolina immediately took their offensive tackle, Jordan Gross, and then Minnesota finally picked at number 9, Kevin Williams. And that actually ended up being a pretty good pick he was a pretty good player for the Vikings.
Well, I guess it kind of worked out for everybody, realistically.
Yeah. So the public relations damage had been done. Vikings coach Mike Tice was quoted as saying, "I'm pissed." There's no other way I can put it.
Travi, you're crazy. The sloppy second quarterbacks. Appreciate you, buddy. We'll see what happens. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers in a wheelchair. I mean, he's probably going to be in a wheelchair pretty soon, regardless of what happens. But
dude, what is he? 40. He's 40. He's 40. Going to be 41. If you listen to a previous episode with us when we had the Jets' favorite Manish Mehta on with us, who will be coming back. He will be coming back in short order to chat with Hogan and I about the draft. He doesn't like Aaron Rodgers.
He doesn't. No.
We were all like, "Let's go."
Yeah. Appreciate you too, bud. Just wanted to throw that out there. But we can't wait. We were hoping to have Manish join us tonight. Obviously, schedules conflicted a little bit, but that's okay. But like I said, we're excited to let you guys know that he'll be joining the podcast again in the future. Absolutely love having him on. The stories he tells and just the insight and depth that he goes into is second to none. And as big football guys as we are, we'd love having those conversations with him. So it'll be phenomenal to have him back. And it's gonna be interesting to have that discussion with him about how tonight goes down. Like I said, I'm absolutely blown away right now that they've let half the time go by and Caleb Williams is still sitting there. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. It just aggravates me because it's like pick the goddamn player. You know who you're taking.
We're the grumpy old men. Grumpy old guys. That's what it is. I mean, like I said, I remember when I was watching the draft about when Cole Strange was picked, and I'm watching this whole draft, and I'm like, dude, it's like 11:30, and they're in pick like 23. I'm like, come on. I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. But
yeah.
Anyways. We enjoyed that story too, Travi.
Oh yeah, that trust.
If you haven't heard this bathroom story, check out. I think it's our last step, not the one we just released today, but the previous episode.
Episode 20.
Very, very insightful bathroom story tied into the NFL and the NFL draft.
He had 2 of them. He had 2 bathroom stories actually.
They were 2 pretty good ones.
Yeah.
One of them really, really was hilarious, and I don't think any of us kept it together when we were talking to him about it because it was like so out of left field and it was so unexpected that it was absolutely incredible. All right, The pick is in. The pick is in.
Finally. Speaking of that, Caleb Williams. See, it's interesting, Travi, because if you've heard me on the podcast where I'm dying on this hill where I think he's going to be a bust. That's my feeling on it. I think just because of the diva vibes and just how he acts in general, I'm
looking at him sitting there. I don't get good vibes from it.
No, he just I don't know. He probably has all the talent in the world and could be one of the best players on the field, but he just oozes douche, and that's not. If you're already an established winner, like I don't know.
There were talks during the season that he was possibly going to start slipping in the offseason, right? Like there was a little bit of talk that there was a chance that he was going to slip based on the off the field stuff. Obviously, that has not happened.
Yeah,
because I think that we're going to see here momentarily when the commissioner comes out that it's going to be Caleb Williams, and then we will be one pick closer to knowing what the Patriots' fate is at that point.
yeah. That's his dad is worse. Yeah, well, he's probably trying to live up to the mantra of what was it, the Ball family with the NBA a couple years back, where the dad was the hype man and the clown show and all that. So, but I think the biggest thing with Caleb Williams though is the official picks in.
He's at the podium right now.
Okay. Full disclosure for those of you watching us on top of the draft, Burgess has a little bit of a head start on me on his live view.
It is Caleb Williams.
Shocking.
Shocking.
8 minutes too long to make the freaking pick.
But so he's going to go be the first overall pick in the NFL draft. And again, I'm going to highlight this comment again. What did I say? 8th overall? Did I say that?
What?
He's the first overall pick in the draft. Disregard. I thought you were telling me to hold up. But he better be amazing. I highlight the old comment. He better be amazing because there's a lot of expectation on him there in Chicago. So,
well, I think, like I said, we were talking about how he could potentially fall, and I think that was due to that rumor or that crap that came out about his camp saying that he wanted partial ownership of whatever team ended up drafting him, and it's just like I don't remember reading a report that he denied that. That's the sad part. Is I think like he I don't know. I got a bad vibe with this kid, but speaking of bad vibes. Travi over here talking about Patriots taking Drake May. Burge.
Is this like a reverse jinx? Is this like a reverse jinx? Like, I think that's what we want if the Patriots make the pick.
I don't know. Like, what do you feel? What do you feel if if they go with Drake May? Specifically for the Patriots. I know you don't like it.
I want to feel good about it. I'm gonna psych myself into feeling good about it. Like the numbers don't lie. Like more often than not, first round quarterbacks don't hit. Okay, they don't hit. More often than not, they don't. I've kind of over the last month talked myself into really liking the pick of Drake May to be the quarterback. He's not gonna. I don't believe he'd play right away if he comes in here. I really don't think that. Which is why I wish the Patriots did a little bit more with who they signed to back him up, and that's Jacoby Brissett. I like Jacoby Brissett a lot as a player, but I don't consider him a real effective bridge type quarterback, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I get why the Patriots signed him. He's got the familiarity with Alex Van Pelt from his Cleveland days, so that's there. Probably knows the system that they're going to try to install.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, I really don't give a rat's ass what the Crafts think. I'll be straight honest with you. I really don't care about that. But if the guys making football calls, the scouts, the de facto GM, the head coach are in love with Drake May, I'm in on it. I can't not be. If they announce JJ McCarthy's name,
it's going to be tough. That's going to be tough.
Bro.
I was talking about today. I feel like for Patriots specific that the one pick that wouldn't set everybody off the edge would be the Marvin Harrison Jr. pick, because I feel like he's a stud. But I feel like everything else is just going to have giant question marks around it where you truly don't know if it's going to work out for the best or what have you. I don't know. But yeah, no, USC hasn't been exactly a powerhouse lately for quarterbacks, as we all know. What was it? Sam Darnold was the last big one to come out of there. Sorry, Travi, not to rub salt in the wound. Actually, you know what? Your Jets do like to take USC quarterbacks that don't pan out. Between Mark Sanchez, Sam Darnold, I feel like there was another one too, but I'm not sure. Either way, we'll see. We'll see how. Well, Caleb Williams did technically start at Oklahoma, which we all know how I feel about that team.
Mm-hmm. We all know how we feel about that other team with that hat behind you on your little Sonic guy there.
All day, baby. All day. Yeah. We'll see what happens though. I do agree. I tend to agree though with you about sitting quarterbacks. I think for the most part, I feel like that usually pans out better for the team. I feel like a lot of times it's such a hard discussion to have sometimes because you look at different, I guess there's so many different scenarios where sitting the quarterback has worked out phenomenally. I'm speaking the English here.
The Packers are the textbook on it.
True, but there's also instances where it's worked out where the team that started the guy right away and he got the experience and maybe he didn't have immediate success, but it turned into long-term success because they started him right away. Because you look at your Troy Aikmans, I mean, he got like crap kicked out of him, but then he eventually went on to win 3 Super Bowls. You look at, I'm trying to recall here. What was it?
Guys that played right away is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Peyton Manning had all those interceptions the first year.
And then turned into a phenomenal player the rest of his career. And then you look at as recently as CJ Stroud was absolutely outstanding this year. And he just, his crazy part about CJ Stroud was that he looked so mediocre or pedestrian in the preseason. Because I remember the Patriots had a game against him where he was like, he played a couple series and I was like, oh, okay. But Andrew Luck too. That's a great, that's another one that unfortunately I think that ended up working against him too, because he got the crap kicked out of him so bad he had to retire early. I mean, but again, he did have the moderate success that he did for the time that he had played. But
all right, the pick is in for the Commanders.
Pick is in. This is it. This is where it's going to be. I'm going to be the rest of the draft right here is going to be determined by who they go with. I'm going to be very interested to see if it ends up being Jayden Daniels. I wonder if he might pull an Eli.
Oh yeah, after that, yeah, he's clearly not happy. I imagine if we see something like that come out over the next couple of days.
That would be crazy to see.
Do you remember? Do you remember Eli Manning's reaction on the stage when he was holding the jersey? He's kind of like,
yeah, because he knew right away. He's like, I am playing for San Diego. It's not going to happen. They're all excited about it in Washington's draft for him. I'm curious to see. Like I said, where you're ahead of me, make sure you read it out for me.
I will. I'm just looking at Mel Kiper talk, and I was actually going through Instagram the other day, and I saw the old clip of Bill Tobin, the GM of the Colts, absolutely calling him out from the 1990s.
Yes.
And it was gold. Who the hell is Mel Kiper anyway? This guy's just bitter because the Colts moved from Baltimore. Like,
what did he do? He wouldn't know what a jockstrap is if it hit him in the face or something. Like that was like the quote. I was dying when I heard that. I was like, that's something exactly I would say.
He knows as much about football as my postman. And everybody's commenting on it like, why is the postman getting shade on this? Like,
yeah. No, like I said, I think right here is going to be.
All right, he's walking
out. This is going to set the tone. This is going to set the tone for the rest of the draft from here on out. If I'm guessing, I got to think they're going with Jayden Daniels.
I do. That's my guess too. Jayden Daniels.
Jayden Daniels. Wow.
He's a guy that over the course of the college season really rose up.
Postman catching strays. I had to throw that out there.
Jayden Daniels, obviously, he's the Heisman winner, right? So he elevated himself. But I remember probably mid-season of the NFL, we were talking as Patriots fans like, oh, maybe we can get him. If we're going to have a high pick, we can get Harrison Jr. in the first round and Jayden Daniels at that 34 pick in the second round. Boy, did that go away really fast as Jayden Daniels' season just kind of took off. When I was thinking about who I wanted the Patriots to have as their quarterback, obviously I knew Caleb Williams was out. I wanted no part of trading up to get him, or anything like that. The Patriots have too many holes to make kind of those trades, to try to boost their team to get that quarterback. They don't have the assets to do it when they have so many glaring holes. I went back and forth on this. I wanted the mobile quarterback. I wanted the Lamar Jackson type player to come in here, but he's just at the end of the day, like with what Alex Van Pelt brings in and the offenses that he was running in Cleveland, he doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
So now we're going to find out. Our boys Patriots are on the clock. Jayden Daniels is a member of the Washington Commanders, at least for now.
He seems excited walking across. Like I said, I got the delayed view,
I mean,
but
he just got drafted second overall. I mean, I'd be pumped no matter which team took me, and then let the other stuff work itself out after, right?
well, again, like I said, you could go with the old Eli face where you're just like,
He fit right into the Manning face vibe, right? Early
Mm.
on the draft.
I'm so conflicted by that, by the way, because I truly hate the Manning brothers for everything that they've done with us. But Archie Manning, for my boys down in Texas, he's gonna be
the hedge.
he's gonna become a stud. It's
Then
tough.
why are you hating on Bill Belichick going on with the Manning brothers on the Manning cast?
Because I hate the Manning brothers. I don't want to deal with them.
Dude.
I resent them. You said it best. I hold a grudge. I hold a damn grudge, okay?
All right.
And I got a pretty
you're
unless you have a short-term memory, I would assume you should hold a grudge against those clowns as well.
I hold a grudge against them on the football field.
Yeah.
I love what they do off the field. Peyton Manning,
the
going back to when they were playing and they had the commercial where their two brothers are walking behind Arch Manning and they're like kicking each other and giving each other wet willies. That's hilarious content. Peyton Manning is great, as Travi just said.
I still hate him.
He's hilarious.
Eli, not so much.
I'll agree with that. Eli's just Eli.
Eli does not. Now, this is going to obviously sound biased as a Patriots fan, but as a truly football fan, first and foremost, Eli Manning does not belong in the Hall of Fame. I'll die on that hill all day.
But
they'll give it to him.
First off, I'm going to start off. I agree. He's going to get in. If Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame, we just, little bit of a spoiler for our episode this week. Kurt Warner was a hot topic of debate.
I actually have to go back into that and explain because Travi was asking me why I had so much Kurt Warner hate, but I'll get back to that after.
Pick is in for New England. Pick is in for the Patriots. You might want to hold that thought. Unless they go to commercial here. You might want to hold that thought.
It's going to be fucking Drake May.
It's going to be Drake May. If it's Drake May, I'm okay with it. If it's JJ McCarthy, I'm coming through that screen and I'm slapping you silly. That's
why are you slapping me? I didn't pick him.
Because I'm going to have to take my aggression out somewhere.
Slap yourself then. Oh my God. Who are they going with?
I'm living with this. It's a monumental decision for the Patriots. It's monumental if this is who they're going with. I imagine though, like the pick is in. The trade's not coming. The pick is in. Imagine it's Joe Alt or tackle.
I wouldn't hate it.
At 3?
Offensive tackles have gone number 1 overall.
Bro, with the amount of teams that want quarterbacks, if you're going to take a tackle, you move back.
I'm just saying. I feel like I'd feel more confident than a quarterback that I have question marks about.
Oh, man. If it's... I disagree with that so bad.
That's because you don't like fatties.
No, I do. I would love to have Joe Alt on this team. I love it.
Not from what you're just
not at pick 3.
Well, he's going to go in the top 10, I have to assume.
All right, there's Elliott Wolf and Robert Kraft in the draft room. Jonathan Kraft talking to Elliott Wolf. I hate that. Oh, Matt Gross standing there looking like a doofus.
Bring back Belichick's dog making the picks during COVID.
Nike.
That was funny.
I just remember he had his MacBook. He had his MacBook and they made him tape over it. He has the logo.
Yep.
Oh, man. The anticipation is killing me.
Of course, they got to show Drake May. Why do they have to show Drake May?
They showed Jaden Daniels, too. It's like they know. They know. All right, here he comes. Patriots select J.J. McCarthy.
No, it's going to be Drake May. You're going to have Mitchell Trubisky 2.0.
That's the only concern I have. I do agree with that a little bit there. Drake May.
God.
Drake May is the new quarterback for the New England Patriots. Drake May.
I'm not happy. I'm
okay with it. I don't hate it. Like, let's see how it plays out. I just hope that they manage it right. They don't screw it up.
I
I
don't
mean,
like
he's
it.
probably pumped to be coming to play for the New England
I
Patriots.
gotta wonder what if will ever find out what the ransom was for that number 3 pick, if they had any offers truly on the table from like Minnesota or something like that.
He's young too. He's not even 22 yet. He's only 21 years old.
I don't care. I don't.
Dude.
It's just. I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
Now Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go to the Cardinals, and he's going to have a Hall of Fame career just like his dad.
What'd you want? You wanted Marvin Harrison Jr., didn't you?
I would have loved Marvin Harrison.
I was all in on that train until they didn't sign anybody at quarterback, and I'm like, nah. Well, you better start getting on board with it, man, because otherwise it's gonna be a long 4 years for you.
We just went through Mac Jones, and this is I don't know. The problem, I guess, really
this guy coming in the chat. This guy coming in the chat trying to throw low blows for you, Hogan. Really. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Travi
You're already pissed about the pick.
I don't care because Travi is a Jets fan, and as much as I love Travi, he hasn't had a Super Bowl to watch in 50-something years, so it's okay. Slinging Joe Namath. How many
games did the Patriots win against the Jets until this year?
2 times. Oh, yeah. Anyway.
The trolls are coming out.
It's okay. It's okay. I expected it. It's all right. Still love him. He's all good.
21 years old, dude. Like, he's going to be 22 and not till September. August 30th, he turns 22. They can take their time with him. They absolutely can take their time with him.
Yeah. I just don't think they will, because I guarantee that Kraft will probably want to pull. I mean, Kraft's got his hands too much in the franchise at this point with like the crap that he's doing. And it's like if right off the bat, if Jacoby's not winning games, even if they want to sit May, and Jacoby's not winning games, like Kraft is going to call. Like he's going to call Mayo, and he's going to be like, "You need to play the kid." That's why we took him at 3.
That's a bad list of first-round quarterbacks since 1967 for the Patriots. Well, Jim Plunkett was pretty good. Tony Eason blew. Drew Bledsoe was okay, and Mac Jones sucked. Hey, we went every other one on that list, and Drake May is the next one after Mac Jones, so maybe he's going to be good. Just trying to use the logic, man.
I mean,
I'm okay with it. I personally am willing to go the route with this. They addressed a position of need with their most valuable asset in the draft. They went after the most valuable position. At the end of the day, I'm one of those people that has to be like, if Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, and the NFL scout, their scouting department over there, Matt Groh, those guys, if they are in on him and they love him, great. But if they went into this whole thing with, we'll take what's left of those big 3. If Caleb drops, we'll take him. If Jaden goes to 3, we'll take him. Or Jake May's there, we'll take him. That I have a problem with. I have an absolute problem with that.
We're gonna shout out this next guy right here. This is my buddy from work. This is the infamous Rick Griffith.
Rick,
popping up to say hello,
buddy.
And Rick, I fully agree with you that I do hope they have a master plan and not ruin another one. That is the hope and dreams of all of us here in New England town. But whether it happens or not, it remains to be seen. But we got to have faith, right? I mean, that's the thing. As much crap as I've been talking, we got to have faith, because at the end of the day, they got rid of who I consider to be the greatest coach of all time to make a change where they were slowly declining year after year. So it's like, if Mayo can do it, if he can turn it around and start doing it with younger talent that, can build up the team and do what they need to do to get back to at least competitive football, which they weren't last year. Let's go. I love it. I'm
dying on the hill, Rick.
He told me as I was leaving work today, he goes, Antonio Gates really, again, spoiler alert for you guys who haven't listened to the podcast yet. Antonio Gates was Burge over here, his number 1 pick for his undrafted players list, which I didn't agree with it either, but I didn't want to call him out like Rick did, so I love it.
All right, pick is being announced for the Cardinals. It is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Of course it
Marvin
is.
Harrison Jr. I love that fit in Arizona. They
I
got
would
an
have loved that
established
fit in New
quarterback.
England.
Well, who's throwing to him then? Like, that's the thing.
I don't
Like,
care. If he's a stud receiver, again, the end of the day, I look at it as you get the guys that you can surround a quarterback with that are going to win you games.
sure.
You're not going to get a top tier quarterback throwing to nobody and winning football games. It doesn't happen. If you have a stud at wide receiver, if you have a Justin Jefferson, if you have potentially, and I'm not saying Marvin Harrison Jr. is a Randy Moss or Justin Jefferson, but like if he has a potential to be that, and you can plug and play a quarterback just to get the ball to him, I like your chances of better than a quarterback that is literally throwing at no-name receivers that can't catch the ball or it gets intercepted or gets knocked around. I mean, look again, if we're looking at it objectively as Patriot fans, like if you look at Mac Jones, his rookie year, he was surrounded by mediocre talent that he did the best that he could with. He hit his ceiling as a rookie, right? The talent didn't get better around him as his career went on the next few years. And it got worse and worse because he was already gun shy and everything else, and he couldn't throw to anybody. But like I said, Baker Mayfield, you take somebody like him where he didn't have the sustained success in Cleveland, but then he goes to Tampa and he's got Mike Evans to throw to and Chris Godwin and like decent players. And all of a sudden his career is resurrected. But nobody wanted the guy a year ago. So it's the guys around you that make you, not the quarterback that makes everybody else, unless your name is Tom Brady. Literally.
Listen, I understand that this is not going to be a quick rebuild. And again, if the Patriots are in love with Drake May, they got their piece. Okay, they got their piece there, and then next year, I mean, we very well could be picking in the same ballpark next year. And I know that stinks to hear as fans that have to endure another season like that. But if they stick to
yeah, thank you, Travi.
You should be the Patriots quarterback right now.
One thing that we will agree on tonight. Thank you very much, Travi.
If the Patriots are really going to commit to this long-term rebuild, and that's how they're going to build this team, you got the quarterback, let him sit for a year, right? Let him sit for a year and build thank you. And build around him. And build around him. It's not going to be a short rebuild. Would I like to have seen them done more this offseason to try to improve the pieces on the team? Yes. But they have a ton of cap space that if they don't use it, gets rolled into the next year. So you're going to be just dealing with that again next year. So it seems to me that there's a good chance that they're going to, be the team that's going to be possibly tanking again next year. As much as we hate to think that's going to happen.
I'm okay with it, though, at the end of the day, if it's what's the best for the team. Like, I mean, we're all rooting for this year for them to lose more games so they had a better pick. And, of course, I was the number one person on the planet screaming and pissing and moaning when they hit that field goal on Christmas against Denver to give themselves another win that just cost them, I think it was like the top 2 pick, right? So
doesn't matter at the end of the day. If they got their guy, they got their guy. I'll never root for this team to lose football games to tank for a draft pick. I don't care. I may think about it in the middle of the week, but when
they were out of the playoffs, and there was nothing to play for, you had to root for them to have a better draft pick. There was no reason.
I don't root for losses. When I sit down and watch a football game, I don't want to watch for my team to lose. I will always root for them to win, and I don't care what the record says or anything like that. I'm not gonna do that ever. I can't do it as a fan. I can't do it. I'll endure the season and I will root for my team to win, but I will never be one of those people that wants to tank for a draft pick. Ever. You'll never see that come from me.
So you should be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and be okay with going 8-9 and 9-8 every year.
Yeah. I sniff the playoffs every year, and for some reason they can't figure it out. They can't figure it out. They don't have they now have a quarterback, but if you want to call Russell Wilson a quarterback, I think he's cooked. But
he's a placeholder for Justin Fields.
Yeah, and we'll see what Justin Fields actually has. I mean,
Yeah.
He showed flashes in Chicago, but I mean that organization has been so inept and
Yeah.
poorly run over the. They did him dirty as bad as the rest of the quarterbacks in that 2020 draft class, 2021
Mm.
draft class. Like they did them all dirty. Every one of them has been traded with the exception of Trevor Lawrence.
And even then, his career has been questionable, I would say, at best, maybe, because like he hasn't found sustained success either because they made the playoffs, what, though, 2 years ago, where they had the big upset against the Chargers.
And they blew it against Kansas City.
And then they blew it against Kansas City. But then this year, they were the number 1 seed, I think, like at week 10 or something like that.
Yeah, they missed
And
the
then
playoffs.
they blew everything at the end of the stretch there. So again, like I'm not sold on Trevor Lawrence being the guy either. I think he's the guy by facto that he was the number 1 pick and they're not giving up on him yet, but he's also hasn't done anything for me to sit there and be like, yeah, he deserves to be the starter going forward every year. If they, I don't know. And I guess Doug Peterson has got his hands full down there. So yeah, that's
They
usually
have a
what
lot of talent down
Jacksonville
there.
is.
They have a lot of talent down there to be not having any kind of real success.
But
Let's
they,
be real. That playoff game that they won was because Brandon Staley pooped himself again.
oh yeah, but it
Like
was
that's the reason
also,
they won that game.
but also you got to think about it too. Is like they had that talent, you know. What was that the year that they went to the AFC Championship against us? 2017, and they had Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah.
and then was it Blake Bortles was their freaking starting quarterback, and they actually almost came to New England and knocked them off, where they had the talent to get there, but it's just I don't know. Jacksonville is such an enigma where they look really really decent one year and then they go back to poverty a year later. They have no sustained success with themselves down there. So
Mhm.
because before that, their best year I think was '07 with David Garrard when they again went to the playoffs. But I don't know.
Pick is in for the Chargers at this point. We are at a commercial break.
Okay, this is interesting. You like this?
He'd be better than Tua. Absolutely. I'd take Trevor Lawrence 100 times out of 100 over Tua Tagovailoa. 100 times out of 100. But I will say I do agree with your assessment on Trevor Lawrence because
He
he
doesn't
was
show me
what
enough.
he was one of the most highly touted
Yeah,
college prospects to come out probably since what Cam Newton maybe. Am I
they
going back?
they were essentially going as far as saying he was going to be like the next Peyton Manning.
Exactly. And like it was for 4 years. Everybody was like, in 4 years or 3 years, he's going to come out of the draft and
What
position yourself properly to get him.
remember when they were saying tank for Trevor for like around
Yes.
New England with the Cam Newton year?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes. I'm not, again, that's not something I support ever. Ever, 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 ever. I will never do that.
I just think personally, like I said, I don't want my team to lose, but then when you literally have nothing to play for, make yourself better in the draft as best you can going forward at that point. Like I said, they were out of the playoffs. There was zero chance of them getting better as the season went on. There was nothing to build on. I think everybody kind of knew what was coming down the path with where they were at, not even halfway through last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of just like, well, if you can make yourself better in the draft, do it. Don't win a meaningless game that's not going to do anything but make your franchise worse by picking later where you're not going to get the guy you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's to say? Maybe what if they wanted Jaden Daniels? What if they could have had that number 2 pick and then they blew it? Because we friggin' lost to Washington this year. Like we lost to the team that picked number 2 and we still picked after them.
All right, here comes Roger Goodell to the podium for the 5th overall pick for the Los Angeles Chargers and new head coach Jim Harbaugh.
They're definitely going wide receiver because Justin
Hayward,
Herbert's throwing to
Hayward's.
himself. That wouldn't be bad. Or
They
I
went
could actually
Joe Alt. Joe Alt.
Wow.
That seems
That
like a
might
reach
be,
to me.
I don't know if it's a reach. That's just a surprise because they don't have anybody for Justin Herbert to throw the ball to. Wow. That's a surprise to me. That's honestly a surprise to me.
Yeah, I expected him to kind of go maybe 8-9 range for Joe Alt when the tackles were going to start based on a lot of mock drafts that you read and everything. But yeah, this is something here. I mean, do they really hate Justin Herbert though? They're
They were cap broke. They had to do what they had to do.
they had to do what they had to do with Mike Evans and Keenan Allen. Otherwise, they were going to lose other pieces. They got him a tackle to protect him. So it's for him. It's not like they went defense on this pick. But I have to kind of agree here with Rick. Not a good pick. I think it's and then Travi coming in with the reach. I think he probably went 3 or 4 picks too high. I think they maybe Eckler's cooked. Eckler's cooked. He's done. He's cooked. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He's cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I don't know.
I'm just curious what
surprised.
They have to go nuts in the rest of the draft with skill positions because I honestly I cannot name one person that Herbert is going to be throwing the ball to going into next year right now because they had Mike Williams, they had Keenan Allen, they're both.
I can't even remember Quentin Johnson.
Oh, he was the number 1 pick last year, right? That just like didn't do anything.
Absolute bust the way he played last year compared to the other guys.
Where was he from? Clemson? I'm trying to recall. I don't know off the top of my head.
Played at TCU.
Okay.
He was taken in the first round, pick 21 last year.
Yeah.
I'm honestly stunned. I'm stunned by the fact that they took a tackle there. You got to think that they were able to field some calls to maybe move back a slot or two.
I think,
but then again, teams also knew they weren't taking a quarterback. So at that point, you get leveraged. You get leveraged on that.
Rick, I'm so conflicted on this because as a Longhorns fan, I want to agree with you, but as a Manning hater, I don't want to agree with you. So it's like I don't know what to do. I even took off the normally, especially for the guys that watch me streaming and whatnot, they know I always rock my Texas hat while I'm playing games and whatnot. But I had to go with the Pats tonight. You don't even have a college team, so shut the hell up.
Why do you think I wanted JJ McCarthy so bad?
You're not a Michigan fan. Gross.
I'm a casual college football fan. I'm very casual. You know, first podcast I did, the host was a big fan of Ohio State, so I naturally, the troll in me, decided to be like, I'm going to root for Michigan.
Of course.
But I've never, ever actually cared. Like, if Michigan loses, like, whatever, I don't care. The only reason I named Michigan, can you guess?
What? I actually
why would I pick Michigan?
Why would you pick Michigan? Oh, because of Brady, though.
That's the only reason. I don't watch enough college football to really be truly vested in a team.
You paying attention? I'm seeing the pick is in for the Giants.
Yes, I am seeing that.
Okay. I don't want you over here.
But it's all the filler, man. It's all the filler.
Well, I just want to make sure you're not over here, getting all worked up about your Michigan.
You're getting me angry when you start talking about the Longhorns, man.
Why? What did Texas do to you?
You like them. That's why I hate them.
You're such a clown. God. JJ McCarthy, is he going to be taking over for Daniel Jones? He looks like a 10-year-old. They're showing. I'm seeing him on my screen right now. He looks like a bona fide 10-year-old.
If they don't pick him, could Atlanta reach for him? I know they just gave Kirk Cousins a ton of money there. Probably not.
Atlanta's probably going to get Brock Bowers. No, well, they got Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, they
imagine tight end set with them. Right?
It's Malik Neighbors, wide receiver.
Okay. Wow. So bet you JJ falls real far now. Because who needs a quarterback after that? I guarantee you Atlanta's not taking him after the money they just gave him.
No. They're not going to take him.
Real quick, Rick, we love you, buddy. Thanks for popping in.
Yes.
Hope you have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you for the support.
Malik Neighbors. Wow.
Denver at 12, Vikings at 11, Jets at 10, Raiders at 13. Like, I think
Ooh.
we're gonna start getting into the ballpark where those three teams, the Vikings, the Broncos, and the Raiders, might try to leapfrog each other for this pick.
So Travi, if you're still here, Travi, and you're hanging out, what do you feel about the Jets trying to go after McCarthy as the supplement to Aaron Rodgers if he either A gets hurt or if he's 10 years up relatively soon?
That'd be
interesting,
an interesting
huh?
pick. An interesting pick. I mean, they did just move out Zach Wilson. They moved out a quarterback.
That's exactly it. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
that would be. See, I think that they're kind of in a mindset right now where they need to kind of win now if they're going to win with their current setup. But like, what happens if Zach Wilson's out? He's gone. I'm trying to figure out who the heck they have on their roster other than Travis Simeon. Like,
is he still with the Jets?
I'm trying to look it up. I honestly I couldn't give two shits about the Jets. For this sake, I'm gonna look it up.
Well, we have to kind of give a shit about them now because I mean, that's Travi.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, they signed Tyrod Taylor.
They did.
He's their backup. He's their backup. Yeah.
No
Tyrod
shit.
Taylor. Yeah, he's their backup.
I didn't even know he was still in the league. The last thing I know, he played for what? Chargers before Herbert.
Neighbors just went, Travi, to the Giants.
Interesting.
I agree with this sentiment. Although I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for the chaos of a team reaching for this player.
It could just the potential is there, right? That's the big thing.
He just didn't do enough in college, though.
I don't disagree. I don't think. I mean, it's just he could potentially be like another, almost like a Tebow. No, I'm not saying because Tebow had a much better college career, but like he was just the guy in college, and that he just might not pan out for the NFL. I mean, I don't. But like I said, McCarthy will. He just. Yeah, he went undefeated and they won the national championship this year. But like, how much of that was him as opposed to that defense that was ridiculously stacked, and then their run game was just unstoppable? I don't know.
It's gotta be. This is where this draft is kind of falling, kind of where you expected it to, other than the fact that the Chargers took
Joel
early.
But I also can't believe that we haven't seen any trades yet. That's probably the most mind-boggling thing to me is like the amount of trade talk that we had leading up to this draft for there not to be a single trade as of yet. And I'm especially surprised too, because the big one of the big ones, I think even Manish was talking about it with us on one of our podcasts, was the fact that Chicago had Marvin Harrison Jr. come in for a visit. And they were like, well, no way he's going to last till 9th. But it's like if Chicago had the chance to move up in the draft again after taking Caleb Williams to go and get Marvin Harrison Jr. again in the top 5, like they had the chance to do it.
Titans pick is in.
They're
picking. They're picking. They're not trading.
Well, they don't need a quarterback.
No, not at least at this point. They've made their
well, actually, they don't need a running back because they got Tony Pollard now. I'm trying to think. What is I have a feeling Tennessee might go defense. Have we had a defensive player go yet? It's been all
quarterbacks,
offense.
receivers, and a tackle.
Wow.
That's what we've got so far.
Wow. Interesting. Offense dominates the draft so far.
I'm just following the tracker here. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they go receiver too. They did sign Calvin Ridley, but
they got Ridley, and then they have what's his name that they replaced AJ Brown technically with, but hasn't really.
Traylon Burks.
Yeah,
hasn't really panned out. I mean, no, he's fought off some injuries and such with that, but like
I just got an update from ESPN saying that Chargers said flat out no when asked by Vikings and Patriots if they had interest in trading Justin Herbert. So the Patriots inquired about trading for Justin Herbert.
Well, that's an interesting tidbit.
I did not expect that.
If I sit here think about it, I kind of do. I mean, the Crafts, they want something quick. Robert ain't getting any younger.
That's crazy.
The Vikings make sense.
Oh, the Vikings, of course, but for us to be in on Herbert was just like, I did not expect that.
I don't know. So Jim Harbaugh is all over. Is all over Justin Herbert, and they're trying to protect him. We got to be getting to a point where we're going to start seeing some trades in this, based on everything that we heard leading up to this.
You would think. It's just crazy that we haven't seen one yet. That's because I feel like last year there were a decent amount, right? Well, the number one pick was obviously a trade, but like that was, I think, that was prior to the draft. So we got what? We got Titans now, Atlanta's next, Chicago again, and then what do we got? Jets, Travi. Ooh,
Jets at 10. Those 3 picks, the Vikings, the Broncos, and the Raiders, are the ones to keep an eye on for McCarthy to go.
Yeah.
I'm curious if we're going to see a situation where somebody like Michael Penix makes his way into the first round.
I feel like with injury history and then what happened in the national championship, I'm not saying it's his fault, but I feel like that's going to be held against him. Especially the injury history is just, it's kind of scary that a guy tore both ACLs within a 2-year span at the age that he did, where it's like, you're not going to get any younger. But, and again, a part of me is curious too with Penix is how much of his success was due to the power that was around him, because that Washington team was pretty loaded when you look at the receivers. Because I think what at least one of them receivers is projected to go in the first round, right? Is it not Neighbors?
Dunze.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious if Penix where Penix goes, and then again if he has success in the NFL, if or when his chance comes, because again, I could be saying all this stuff and he could turn around and become, a Russell Wilson type player and be really, really good and just wouldn't not overlooked. Still crazy to think that Russell Wilson was a 3rd round pick.
I know. Right after that, Seattle franchise gave Matt Flynn all that money,
like $60 million to not play a freaking down. That's
all right. Commissioner's at the podium.
Oh boy. Titans. I bet you it's Brock Bowers. His ACL is going to act up within 4 years. I'm like, yeah,
JC Latham. JC Latham.
Wow.
Looking at Mel Kiper's best available, or the ESPN's best available here, they had him as 17th best player on the list. Offensive tackle from Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah, this seems like another reach. Like, what are the tackles going to start flying off the board now? Like,
I guess so. Wow, that's interesting.
That pick surprised me. Wow. Now,
again, I think offensive linemen are very, very underappreciated. So it's like,
especially the tackles.
If you can get guys that are going to be stalwarts on your offensive line for long periods of time, like they're worth those picks. But again, I also feel that you can find diamonds in the rough with offensive linemen that are overlooked as well, because I mean, you look at the track record again. Apologize for everybody that doesn't realize we're Patriots fans if you can't tell by now, but like if you look at like the Patriots track record with offensive linemen in later rounds, they nail it a lot of times. Like you look at I mean, granted, Soldier was a 1st round pick, but then you look at Onwenu was a later round guy. Shaq Mason was a later round guy. Joe Tooney was I want to say a 3rd or 4th round guy. So the players are there, but You also look at the guys like your Jonathan Ogdens, your Jake Longs. There's some guys that do change the franchise that get them
Joe
better to
Thomas.
where they need to be. Joe Thomas is probably one of the best tackles of all time.
Yeah,
So it's the potential's there.
this is true.
Guards, of course they don't. No lineman gets love
Unless
except for the left
unless
tackle.
you're Bill Belichick and drafting Cole Strange.
Well, that was a breach and a reach in a century from everybody on the planet that talked about that because he wasn't even projected to go until like what the 3rd or 4th round or something crazy, and they drafted him 17th overall or whatever the hell it was.
Pick is in Atlanta.
Oh boy! Oh, I forgot to change the banner. Silly me.
Failing
Failing at my job. Failing at my job. At least Atlanta picked quickly. They didn't waste goddamn 10 minutes making us sit there and go, "Who the hell are they going to take?"
I mean, hey, you could see a situation where Chicago's like, well, maybe we can get a haul for this 9th overall pick from Minnesota, Vegas, or Denver for a quarterback. Leapfrog the Jets, who may be interested in JJ McCarthy. For my sake, I hope so. For Travis' sake, he's a little probably sweating a little bit here.
I want Travis to sweat after all the crap he was giving me earlier today on one of the other chats. He deserves it. Pick is in. Who you got?
I was going to say, I hated the anticipation up to that 3rd overall pick, but now I'm kind of bummed that the Patriots don't have a pick. I'm anticipating a trade. I want to trade. A trade up.
You want us to trade back into the 1st round?
For a tackle.
And give up what to get back in the 1st round? You want to trade next year's 1st round pick?
No, I'm not going that far. You're right.
Well,
you wouldn't be trading back up into the late stages of the round.
There you go. That's the problem is you can't.
Showing JJ again. And now they're showing, I don't even know who this guy is. That's Penix.
No, Penix wasn't the pick, right?
No.
I thought that's what you were saying the pick was.
Showing him on the screen.
Oh my god, I almost had a mini heart attack. I was like, did Penix really just go? Like that would have been wild.
All right. Are we here yet? Oh my god. Dragging the second thing out.
Of course, typical pick is in, and then 10 years later, they finally announce it. Oh, Penix wasn't even at the draft. That's interesting. Yeah, it's another interesting part too. Is with the guys that they end up inviting to the draft. You would think that like the NFL, at least the owners would have like give some kind of like tidbits to be like, yeah, we're definitely like this guy's going in the 1st round. But you see some guys that get invited there and they just sit for so long. Like what was it? Lamar waited till the last pick of the round, and then was it Will Levis or Levi, whatever the hell how you say his last name, Levis. I mean, he didn't go to the 2nd round, which is awful.
All right, come on, Commissioner. Come on, Goodell. Jeez.
Penix is 2nd round. Yeah, I can see that.
He's coming out now.
Like I said, an hour too late.
Roger, you suck.
You told me to talk about a clown. That's a clown right there. Greatness is on the clock. So that's right. We got the Bears back on after.
Holy shit! It was Michael Penix.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious, dude. Oh my god!
Did that really just happen?
Yes, 8th overall, dude.
Oh my god, that might be the biggest upset of the night. I gotta think there's nothing that's gonna beat that. Holy crap.
That's insane. That's an insane reach.
Oh my god. He just went 8th overall.
That blows my mind.
Wow. Your girlfriend's gonna be upset. That's right, yeah, because your girlfriend's an Atlanta fan, right? I forgot about that. I forgot.
28-3. You'll love the episode. She'll love the episode that we just put out, Travi.
Travi already listened to it. He told me so. I'm sure she won't be listening to any pods by us soon.
That's incredible. Nobody was talking about him really being in the first round.
No, and at that high too. That's mind blowing. That's mind blowing to me.
Like, I remember when we were talking about the Patriots, if they trade back to trade up to get into maybe the teens to take him, if you want to go get him to be your guy. But man,
so the Vikings better be sold on JJ McCarthy, because it seems like that's what's left.
well, I gotta think that. Oh wow, the Bears pick is in now too. I was gonna say, I gotta think Minnesota. Those teams are like maybe sweating a little bit now to get that first round quarterback, because after JJ McCarthy, who else is there? You got Bo Nix, but you got all these guys that are lower tier guys.
Projects that you don't even know if it's going to work out or not.
Unbelievable. I can't believe they did that.
I feel like the Bears got to be going with either a receiver. Well, yeah, because Keenan Allen's not young. They're gonna have somebody replace him eventually. I feel like they could go receiver, or maybe they'll go. They might go eventually defensively. I don't know. That's mind blowing. That's absolutely mind blowing that he is the. There's gonna be a lot of upset people. There's gonna be a lot of upset people, I think.
This I agree with.
That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, they got to replace Keenan Allen at some point, because he's old. Minnesota's getting JJ. They're gonna freak out.
Oh,
you're good.
That's the story of the night right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's
by far.
I literally can't believe that, because like I heard Penix was second round. Like, I know we were just speculating, but like I don't think anybody had him in the top 10. Maybe a late first round, like you said, teens to late, but for him to go in the top 10 is just.
ESPN showing his injury history right now. Every year for in 2018 ACL, dislocated shoulder. This might be high school,
yeah,
in Indiana, but like dislocated his non-throwing shoulder. The year after that, torn his right ACL again. Like, and the year after that, he dislocated another shoulder. So like, guy has an injury problem. Like this.
Yeah. And for them to spend the money.
Tell you one thing. Bill Belichick wouldn't allow that pick to happen. Just saying.
Well, Arthur Smith or Arthur Blank's got his guy. So I just, wow. I mean, that's what the mind-boggling part to me is the fact that they paid as much money as they did for the length of what they gave Kirk Cousins, for them to turn around and draft Penix that high, where it's like,
all right, here comes the Bears pick.
You would want to get immediate support for Cousins, but
Adunze.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got a Nostradamus over here. Predicting the future.
Got it so far. He said that the Pats are going to take May too. What we got? Arthur Blank smoking crack. Nice.
Wild.
All right, Travi. Don't be sweating.
Here it comes.
Don't be sweating. You got the Jets. They're
trade
on the
alert.
clock.
Trade alert. Trade alert.
They're getting Brock Bowers.
Traded. The New York Jets have traded the pick to Minnesota. Minnesota moves up one spot. Here comes JJ McCarthy, man. Here comes JJ McCarthy. I guarantee it.
Are you serious that they traded it, or are you fucking
I'm dead serious. 100%. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock.
What? Why did they think that the Jets? Oh,
I think
well,
they were thinking maybe Denver or Vegas was going to try to leapfrog the Vikings. That's why they did it. Here comes JJ McCarthy, guarantee it.
wow.
So when we get the trade details broadcasted here, we will pass it along to you.
Minnesota has
If I'm Travi, I like this move, especially if it's to move back one spot. If I'm the Jets, I
I
love
don't
this
know
move.
because ESPN's showing Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't know if they've necessarily announced the trade itself yet, so they're still showing Dunze up here. So
Wow.
let me see if I can get it off Twitter what the trade details were here. I'm gonna break
Okay.
my rule.
For one spot. I'm very curious for one spot.
Jets get 11, 129, and 157 for 10 and 203. That's the trade. So they move back one spot to pick up a couple of late round picks. I don't hate it.
That's not bad because especially if I'm there, I'm going to play Nostradamus. I think the Jets are going to take Brock Bowers, which I think is a phenomenal pick. And it's like if Minnesota's desperate enough to move up one spot to take a quarterback that was already going to be there, but they're going to give you 2 more picks to go for it, like do that all day because you're still
All
going to
day
get your
long.
guy and you're going to get the picks. Man, I hate the Jets, but okay, that was a hell of a move by them.
If I'm you, Travi, I'm loving this trade. I'm loving this trade back.
Absolutely. That's a great steal as far as I'm concerned because there was no need for Minnesota to move up unless, like you said, they were panicking about somebody else dealing with the Jets, like Denver. I guess Denver. Okay, well, still.
And player aside, what we think about the player side, they identified the guy that want the quarterback, paying that small price of those mid-round picks, late-round picks. I like the trade for Minnesota too to ensure they're going to get it and not let one of those teams come in and swipe up and try to take them.
Curious.
And it probably was a little bit of a panic move based on what Atlanta did. So it's all kind of a ripple, trickle down effect when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to be happy if you're a Jets fan making that trade. It's a simple move. Again, you're not getting a haul for it. You're getting enough.
You can value.
129 is what? 129 is what? Like the first pick of the
third? Not third and fourth.
Oh, no. Fourth or fifth? It's the first pick of the fourth or the fifth round. I think. Because you got 32, 64, 96.
And then what is it? 129?
So I had the 120. So the last pick of the fourth round. Whatever.
To move back one spot and still get a player you want.
You're going to still get the player you want because you know what Minnesota's doing.
Yeah.
They probably did panic a little bit, but I also think they're covering their ass. I think it's just a CYA move, low cost CYA move to ensure that they get the guy that they want.
Because again, with Denver sitting there, like the Jets could have had both Minnesota on one phone call and they could have had Denver on the other one. And Minnesota probably was like, what do we need to beat Denver to get who we need? So,
yeah. We all know what this next pick's going to be. If it's not that, we're going to look like fools, but you can't hate it. You just can't hate it. You know what I mean? Like I love it. The trades are awesome. A lot of people used to give Bill Belichick a lot of crap around here for playing the draft board. I love moving around. I do Dynasty Fantasy Football. We have a rookie draft every year, 3 rounds. I love true draft day when we basically do a slow draft over 24 hours. So basically we have 24 hours to make a pick and move down the list. For those 3 days that we're doing the drafts is usually what it takes. I'm wheeling and dealing on the phone. Hey, I'll give you, 13th overall, which is a second round pick in a 10-team league, and 16 for 12. All the same kind of draft movement. All in on that. Love it, and we're going to be getting ready to start doing that pretty soon. Can't wait.
I still love doing. We do for my big league that we do is. We do the auction draft. We do it live every year. There's 12 of us that get together and we just have the absolute best time on the planet where it gets rowdy, it gets crazy. And you see the value that some players go for in auction drafts where it's year to year, the base value, it gets so interesting sometimes. seeing like what one guy will go for 1 year when like he's at his absolute best of his career, and then the next year when like something might have happened where you don't know, and it's like I remember what was it, like Adrian Peterson in his prime, and some of the other, like Derrick Henry when in his prime would go for like big bucks, and then like
yeah.
later years they started dipping so quickly, so fast. Like my buddy took Eckler for like a ton of money, like 80 something bucks or whatever. Our budget is like 200, so it's like you gotta like spread it out pretty like well if you can. And like Eckler and Christian McCaffrey were like the two most expensive running backs that went in the draft this year. And it's like McCaffrey was worth every penny, but freaking Eckler turned out to be an absolute bum this year. He did nothing.
He's done.
Yeah.
Dunzo. All right. Minnesota.
Let's go, Jets. Am I right? No, you are wrong,
Wrong. Wrong.
We love you, buddy, but let's not go Jets.
All right, come on. Let's see what this pick is. Well, we wait for the commissioner. Would you ever go to the NFL draft?
Personally, like probably
the first round.
Probably not.
I think like
let me put it this way: if I was in the city that it was happening in, and I just happened to be there at the same time, like I'd be like, okay, we can go check it out, but I wouldn't go out of my way to like be like, oh my god, I have to go see the draft. Like I feel like when it was in New York every year, that would have been cool because you could have made a whole trip out of like New York sightseeing and all that, and just be like, oh yeah, let's go to the first round, let's check it out, and then we have all the other things to do in New York. But now where they're bouncing around from city to city, it's like, I don't, no offense to anybody out there that's from Detroit if you're watching, but why the hell would I want to go to Detroit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially for the draft where it's like, I'm not watching a game. I'm sitting there watching a clock go down and then somebody else to read a card saying, yeah, this is who your team has. Okay. Sit here for the next, 3 hours and enjoy.
Longer than that.
Or
by
4
the time
hours.
this thing's done.
I was gonna say we're only 10 picks in and it's been going on for what?
An hour and 20 minutes.
This is why.
All right. Roger Goodell's at the podium. He's at the podium. We all know what's coming. He's got some kids up there with him, so it's probably one of those picks where the kid's going to get to announce the pick.
Oh, yeah. Travi, you drafted
the Ewing family.
Oof.
Teams for taps. So I think it has to do something probably with the military. So
cool. I do like doing this stuff when they like go like give away the pick reading for certain charity events and whatnot. Like I think that's awesome. Oh, he hit the nail on the head here. I agree with this one.
Yeah.
If I was in Vegas, I'd be all over that too. Absolutely. And top 10 picks would be fun to go to. Anything after that, yeah,
who cares? All right. Family's going to read the pick right now.
JJ McCarthy. Bo Nix. Imagine Bo Nix. What?
Oh, that's cool. They let the little kid announce it.
Nice.
And it is JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy. No surprises there with the quarterbacks that have already gone off the board.
I love seeing that though, and they have the little kid read the pick. I love that stuff. Sign me up for that stuff all day. Oh, all right. Now, Brock Bowers. Now we can probably start talking about that again. You really sold on Brock Bowers?
I mean, think about it. Who do they have a tight end?
Guess as good as mine. Tyler Conklin. Is he still there?
No, he's gone. I'm pretty sure he signed with somebody else.
We all know they ain't going defense.
I think
we all know they ain't going defense.
Big deal somewhere else, actually. They don't need to go defense.
Travi, educate us. Who's the Jets tight end currently? I don't even know who it is. I'm actually, I have the roster already up. I'm an idiot.
I will wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment.
They still have Tyler Conklin, bro. I was right.
Then who the hell left? They had a tight end leave that I thought signed like big money somewhere.
The pick is in for the New York Jets. Oh boy, Conklin. Come on, he's not trash.
I mean,
He's mediocre, effective.
Yeah, mediocre trash.
He's not trash. You're trash. You are.
Mm-hmm.
You wear
be
Texas stuff.
I'll be nice. Who gives a shit? Jesus Christ, lay off Texas already. What the fuck? Go jerk off to Michigan or whatever you do. Here, they're showing highlights of McCarthy now. Go in the other room. I'll give you 5 minutes to pump one out. Ass clown.
Second Michigan quarterback selected in the first round in the Common Era. Who was the first one? Don't look at your TV.
Harbaugh.
Who?
No, not John Harbaugh. Didn't he go to Michigan?
Who?
John Harbaugh.
I don't know who that is.
Are you stupid?
Harborough?
Yeah.
It's Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
You said John. You said John. Jim.
Whatever. One of the brothers. Am I right?
Jim Harbaugh. Yes. He was the last one.
Eat shit. Try and get me with trivia, asshole.
Trying to put you on the spot, man.
Yeah, and I was right, and I didn't look at my TV. I was looking at
John Harbaugh. You said John Harbaugh. You were
what
incorrect.
the fuck ever. I at least knew who it was. I was in the ballpark. Fucking twin brothers. Clown. But realistically, do we think that JJ McCarthy is actually going to be that big of a deal in Minnesota?
No. Personally, no. He's got weapons. He's got the stuff there, but
he's got Jefferson. He's got that other kid that did pretty good this year.
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison. They don't have a running back though, right? Or do they? They got Madison.
They cut him or he left. I forget. No, they got somebody. Hold on. I forget the name.
They could re-sign Dalvin Cook if they really wanted to.
No, he's cooked. I thought I'm pretty sure they signed somebody at running back. They signed Aaron Jones. That's right. They signed Aaron Jones.
That's right. Oh, yeah, because he was all salty after what the Packers cut him.
Yep. All right, Roger Goodell coming to the podium. Let's see what we got here. I'd be stunned if they go defense. Alamayu Shanu, offensive tackle, Penn State. I like that pick, the Jets.
So, what's his name there? Tyron Smith is on the chopping block, huh?
Oh, he signed a 1-year incentive-laden deal.
But didn't they trade with somebody too for Baltimore? Didn't they get their?
They got Morgan Moses. They got Morgan Moses. They're two old tackles. I like this pick for the Jets as much as it pains me because
Travi's not happy.
Well, not a sexy pick. Offensive lineman.
This might be my favorite message of the night.
Denver now on the clock.
Denver, well, there's no quarterbacks really left to pick, so interesting.
I think he's going through it right now. He's going through it right now.
That's what you get. That's what you get, Travi.
Talking smack about Drake May.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you were giving me all sorts of crap about Drake May and everything earlier. That's what you get. You're not all on cloud 9 anymore, are you? Denver. We gotta get to Denver. The Broncos with Sean Payton, another
pick is in.
I feel like is already in. Damn, that was quick. Who do we got? Oh, we got the Raiders needed a quarterback too. I forgot about them. Although they got what? Stidham, and they got that O'Connell kid that was a rookie last year. Then I wonder if they're going to rock with them.
You're talking about the Raiders.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. After the Broncos, yeah.
No, the Broncos have Stidham.
Oh, Stidham was the year before, right? Where he was with the Raiders? Okay. I was trying to recall.
I still wish the Patriots let him play in 2020. I still do that. You've seen Jarrett Stidham play over the course of time, right? Yeah, he's looked pretty good. He's looked pretty good in the short time that he's played. They're showing Bo Nix right now on the TV. Could you imagine? We're now at what? 5 quarterbacks already selected in the top 12 picks with Williams, Daniels, May, Penix, McCarthy. Could you imagine if there's another one here? Massive reach if it happens. Massive.
But they need a quarterback.
You know what?
I feel like that's a pitfall.
Rather than reach like that, I'm riding Stidham. I don't care.
I don't know.
Honestly, I'd trade the pick. They have no picks. Their picks are like all the Russell Wilson stuff. From what they had, like they just need to restock.
I don't know. I just had either that he's got dirty pictures or something. That's that's rough.
Oh man. What are we gonna do?
I just got an ESPN alert that's saying Belichick's already critical of Drake May. Says he
was a Jaden Daniels guy. He wanted Jaden Daniels.
Needs to improve in order to be an NFL quarterback.
Well,
Belichick, you're not coaching right now, so shush.
Well, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna start hearing what he has to say, and I'm gonna take what he has to say like truth until I'm proven wrong.
No, a grain of salt though, because I mean,
I take it with a grain of salt for the quarterback position.
Yeah, obviously.
That's the only place I'll do. I'm just so sick of these commercials. Can I just say every time I see Mel Kiper talk, it looks like he's gonna have like a aneurysm in his head, the way he moves and how animated he gets when he's talking. Like, just watch him. Like,
he's been doing the draft for 41 years. Can you believe that?
That's insane.
Yeah.
He's made a whole career of being wrong.
Pretty much. Well,
like, good for him.
He's a sports version of a weatherman.
Yeah, I mean,
works out.
This is his time to shine. This is the only time of year you really hear from him. You hear from him throughout the college season a little bit as, you know, the top prospects start to kind of shape out.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for him. Wish I knew enough about football to be able to do that. Oh.
So we got Broncos. I was gonna say the commercials are killing me right now because it's like the pick has been in, I feel like, for like 10 minutes. That's another part that gets me with this crap. So we got Broncos now, Raiders next, Saints after. I could see the Saints potentially going for Brock Bowers. I'm surprised Brock Bowers has dropped this low, unless there's something about him that we don't know, but I don't know.
Let's see what Denver does. I mean, if the Raiders are committed to Aiden O'Connell, that's an interesting fit.
That's what I mean.
Like Adams, Brock Bowers.
Not Hunter Renfrow.
Nope.
Has he been picked up? He hasn't, right? That's another one that I think should have gone somewhere decent at least.
Free agent.
Wow.
That's probably a team that's going to pick him up after the draft. That's kind of one of those late off-season signings. You know, these big hats are a joke. What is up with these massive hats? Remember those started coming out? Like, they look like buffoons.
Trust
The
me, if
old
you're
guy,
if you're gonna start asking me about fashion advice, I don't know what to tell you, buddy, because I don't understand any fashion whatsoever. Between the big hats, those red boots, stupid things that were like super popular for a while. I don't know.
Bo Nix at 12. Oh my god!
Told you, man. I told you. Desperation.
Oh my god! Half of
Desperation.
the picks that we have seen so far have been quarterbacks. What is going on? These teams are panicking. Stunning.
I told you.
I'm like speechless. I'm speechless right now.
I'm not, because like I said, you got to think about it as objectively too, as if you're the GM for that team, because at the end of the day, like, you don't have a quarterback and you need to get one. So like, you got to take what's on the board that is potentially there that you can just go get. And is it the right choice? I doubt it could potentially not be the right choice, but it's also like, you have to do what you have to do to keep your job, because if you don't have a quarterback on your roster, like, what the hell are you doing?
He's a new GM.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, but that's the problem. Like, these guys are going to be desperate. They're going to do shit that they normally probably either A, wouldn't do, or B, shouldn't be doing, but they feel like they have to pull the trigger.
Like, look at the teams that follow them. The Saints have Derek Carr paid pretty well. The Colts have Anthony Richardson. The Seahawks, they have Geno Smith, but they have plenty of other holes. Jaguars, Bengals, Rams, Steelers, Dolphins, Eagles, Vikings, Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa, Arizona, Buffalo, Detroit, Baltimore, San Francisco, Kansas City. You're going to tell me that one of those teams is thinking about a quarterback? And I'm not talking about teams that are going to even potentially try to trade up. Like, even if a team decides to trade up, whatever. But you're still talking about trading up into the late end of the first round to get a guy like this.
The problem is you got that fear that,
well, yeah, it's a panic move.
I get it. It's the same thing that Minnesota did 2-3 picks ago. They moved up one spot to take McCarthy when he probably was going to be there had they just sat put. Like, shit happens sometimes. I don't know. They're showing the Broncos draft room now, and they're super excited. I think they're like the only ones on the country that are that excited about Bo Nix.
Fewest overall picks, 12, for 6 quarterbacks selected in the history of the NFL. In the history of the NFL, 6 quarterbacks have not gone that high.
Desperation, man. I'm telling you.
My mind literally blown right now that Bo Nix just went in the first round. Are we going to see Spencer Rattler taken in the first round now at the late end of the draft? Like, are we going to start seeing that?
That'd be insane. I'd have to hope and pray that that's not what'll happen, but I don't know.
Dude, this is an opportunity now for teams that maybe want to move up to get an elite talent in the middle section of the first round.
Probably.
Because of the way these picks have lined up. Like, I'm the Patriots right now. I want somebody trading up now. All right, Roger Goodell's at the podium for the Raiders pick. Brock Bowers. Got to be him.
Bowers. He's got to go at some point, right? He's got to be.
Brock Bowers.
For Raiders?
13 to the Raiders.
That's a great pick.
I like that fit.
That's a great pick by them.
I'm just, my mind is blown.
Wow.
I'm speechless, dude. I'm speechless right now. I can't believe that actually happened. I'd be curious. I'm gonna see if I can look back at like Mel Kiper's last mock draft.
Nobody had Bo Nix in the first round. I mean, Penix
Nobody had
was,
him in the first round.
Penix was
I want to know where. I want to
initial
know where
stock.
they had him. Like, I want to look at a full mock draft. So PFF, Pro Football Focus. I'm just gonna fucking search for his team.
In fact, too, that we've only had one trade and it was move up one spot.
Saints are on the clock. Can't even find some images.
Wow. All right, Saints. What are you gonna do?
At this point, like, all right.
And we still haven't had a defensive player go.
That's what's wild. It's been offensive linemen, receivers, a tight end, and all quarterbacks. That's what it's been.
We haven't had a single defensive player go, and we might get halfway through. We could get to Seattle before we see a defensive player, unless the Saints or the Colts take one in the next 2 picks.
This mock draft I'm looking at right here has Bo Nix being selected by Denver. I'm wondering how accurate this is. They also have Michael Penix going to the Raiders. Where Bo Nix going that high? Like, that's. My buddy just sent a group message to one of our chats. Bill Belichick would have funded the Dynasty 3.0 had he, with all the trade backs he would have made in this draft. The amount of talent that we're talking at the end of in the end of this first round right now, it's still there.
Yeah.
I just can't, like, these guys aren't even at the draft.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, this is fucking insane. But it's just the desperation. I don't understand. I don't know.
I'm stunned.
Well, shit. Where do we go from here?
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, again, if there's anybody out there listening in YouTube land or Instagram land or Twitter land or where have you, if you guys are just checking this out for the first time, potentially, we are the Breaking the Plane podcast. We do new episodes typically every Thursday where we just go on and we rant and rave about new NFL topics, things that are going on. Just having a good old time talking football. That's what we came up with the idea for this. We wanted to do this, and we've been doing it for a while now. We got about 27 episodes. We just had a new episode drop today that if you are interested, go check it out. You're everywhere that podcasts are available, between your Apple, your Spotify. I don't know the rest because honestly, I use Spotify myself. So if you're interested in that, please go check it out. We have a great time. We do a lot of different segments where we like to talk about our top 5 lists between different player positions. Our most recent one was obviously with undrafted players, kind of keeping in tune with the draft stuff going on. But yeah, we love talking NFL, and obviously, as you can tell, we are big Patriots fans, but we honestly love talking about all football. So if you guys ever have any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything, you can hit us up. Our socials are on the screens right now, where you can find us on Twitter. You can also look up Breaking the Plane on the Twitter. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Instagram, all the socials. Hit us up anytime, where we'll always either respond to you or we'll get to you in the podcast. We'll give you a special shout out. We got some people that are regulars at this point, like my buddy Rick, who popped in tonight. It was great seeing him in here, and we love taking his top 5 lists to go along with ours. So first and foremost, I think I just want to say for both of us, we want to thank anybody who is here either right now or stopped in tonight or is either watching this at a different date, what have you. We just appreciate you guys. We love the fan base that we got going on. We're looking to continue to grow this thing, make it bigger and better as time goes on. And we wouldn't have what we have without you guys. So thank you. I don't know. Bird, you got anything to put in?
I'm just going to echo everything that you just said. We appreciate everything going on. We got a lot coming in the off season here. So be on the lookout. You might see some changes in some logos. The appearance of the stream might be coming too down the line. So that's all in the works. And we'll get that out to all y'all as soon as we have it. What else? Be sure to chime in on our BTP GOAT segment if you listen to the podcast, because we love to have your interaction on that. We had a little bit tonight with our friend of the pod, Rick, calling me out for my takes on Antonio Gates. Love him. He's the greatest undrafted player of all time.
No, he's not.
Not going to convince me otherwise. Yeah, we got a bunch of ideas that we're working through, and new segments coming your way, especially come the actual NFL season. We're about to head into the dead period of the NFL season after the draft is done. So we will still be recording and putting out episodes weekly. Might get a little bit of different sides of Burge and Hogan on those episodes. May not always be football talk, because football news will die down for a little bit between now and the end of July when training camp opens up. So you might find out a little bit more of our nerdy side of things with gaming. I'll be sure to include a lot of my thoughts about as I'm watching Mel Kiper have an aneurysm on the air right now. Big hockey fan. Boston Bruins, baby. So they're in the playoffs right now.
Check out Burge's other podcast, Two Pad Stacks, if you guys get a chance to. If you like hockey, if you like Bruins hockey specifically, but if you like hockey in general, him and his co-host Ace, great guys. They run an awesome podcast, Two Pad Stack. Look it up. It's freaking awesome. Trust me. I would know because I've never listened to it, but I love them both so much.
We have a great time. We talk about things all outside of hockey there too. We talk about our gaming adventures, our dad life that we have going on at home. Mr. Hogan doesn't know anything about that. He got a little glimpse of it tonight before we came on the StreamYard with my little 3.5-year-old son, Parker, who made an appearance, not on the live stream, but while he was still awake before we started streaming. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe. So be on the lookout for all that. What else is coming down the pipe? Roger Goodell is at the podium with the Saints pick right now. So let's see what we got.
I have a feeling neither of us are going to know what the name is. That's my guess for this pick.
Dallas Turner is going to be my guess. Best available edge rusher. That's my guess.
First defensive player off the board.
Talise Fuaga. I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize. Tackle from Oregon State. No, offensive tackle.
Told you. I think we're going the first half of the draft, the first round, with no defensive players.
We're almost halfway. We're almost there, man. 2 more picks.
That's insane. That's absolutely mind-blowing to me that wow. Colts are on the clock. Change it up. Oh, actually, before I forget too, for anybody interested with my Twitch stuff, especially because I know Travi was here earlier from Twitch, especially we talked about on the podcast. If you didn't get a chance to listen to that either at this point, but we got big plans. So I have big plans, obviously, for in-season stuff with my Twitch profile with that streaming stuff. If you're unaware, I'm currently under the ID Prowler 71. So if you guys want to go check that out, got plenty of stuff. Oh, Travi, you're still here. You went quiet for a bit. That's all. I didn't know you were still hanging out, but that's okay. Still here. Are you still upset about the Jets pick though? That's the real question.
That is the real question.
I think he had to go throw up. Remember, he said he was going to throw up, so he had to go throw up for about 20 minutes.
That was a long throw up, man. I don't envy you.
He had a lot of puke to come off apparently because he was that upset about that pick. So But yeah, no, big plans. Like I was saying about the Twitch stuff, where I plan on hopefully streaming early on Sunday mornings in season to kind of interact with chat, kind of do something similar that we're doing right now, but I'll do it on a different platform, obviously, and just we'll talk fantasy, we'll talk matchups, we'll talk about a whole bunch of things on top of the stuff that we talk about on the podcast, and it'll just be a really good time. So keep your eyes peeled for more of that stuff as well.
Hopefully I'll be able to be a part of that at some point. Normally I work weekends, so we'll see. But we may have some other live stream stuff ideas working in the works right now that we may use to incorporate me into that a little bit, courtesy of my work schedule.
Stuff in his face, and he's still got to talk trash. Look at this. Stuff in his face. Stuff in your face with all the despair and horrors that the Jets are going to be encountering this year. That's eat away your sorrows, Travie.
Can I just say real quick? I was just watching the NFL draft. It's a commercial, but they're showing the crowd. What kind of lunatic decides to paint their face and get truly dressed up
for a draft?
For the NFL draft. And it was an Eagles fan, so your team ain't picking for a while.
Ooh. My buddy my buddy Kyle is not going to be okay with that. He's a big Eagles fan that we were talking back and forth. That's okay though.
I got no respect for that team. I got no respect for that fan base either. Shout out my buddy. I'm not going to dox him on the live stream, but long story short, when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl at work, he's sitting outside of the workplace. You know me, I work in an airport, so put two and two together there. Holding up his jersey, wearing his jersey, being all pumped. I'm out there.
Yep.
Guess who was flying in when he did that?
Patriots.
The GOAT.
Brady. Ooh.
Ooh. A little story there about that.
Ooh.
Just like I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, you clown, bro. Such a clown. But he was, he was a guest on the BTB podcast. So you guys may know him. And my boy Cobes. Back, I don't know, mid-season. He called the Eagles falling off a cliff before they fell off a cliff.
I do recall that.
Hats off to him on that. He had no faith in that team in the playoffs and kind of gave up. So kudos to him for seeing it before it happened. But I'll never respect the Eagles fans, man. That all went away. That all went away with the whole Philly special illegal play. Corey Clement catching the ball out of bounds. That all went away. The amount of crap I took from that Super Bowl. They're not Buffalo Bills level with me yet. They ain't there. But
Bills.
They're getting there.
The poor Bills.
Still on the clock, man. The pick's not in yet.
Yeah, I know. Between them and the Saints, they've used up like all of their time, and I'm slowly losing my mind because of the time at this point. Like all the studs must be gone. That's why they're taking their time to figure it out.
Pick is in.
Finally, it's going to take them another 10 minutes to announce it. Roger Goodell's got to get off his ass and get back up to the stage. Mitchell, Toledo cornerback.
Are we finally going to see a defensive player here? Are we finally going to do it?
I hope not. I want to see us go half of the round with no defense.
Pop Douglas is going to take a massive step forward in year 2.
Stop it.
He's going to take a massive step forward in year 2.
He's going to take a massive hit and be concussed for 4 more games because he's so tiny.
Wrong.
I just hope Kendrick Bourne can come back okay.
Yeah, dude. I love him as a player. I loved him when they signed him. I loved him his first year here. I tried to buy his jersey when I went to a game. They didn't have any. I wanted the red one. They didn't have the red one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really hope he can come back and be kind of the same player coming off that knee injury for sure. Jonathan Gannon, is he the coach of the Colts? Dude looks like he's preparing for a flood sitting there right now. His freaking pants are halfway up his shin.
Oh boy.
Shane Steichen, not Jonathan Gannon. He's the coach of the Colts. of the Cardinals. It's Shane Steichen. His pants are like at his kneecaps. He looks like he's wearing Caprice. Come on, announce the pick.
Packers. Where are the Pack? Oh, the Packers are picking late too. That's right. They
Yeah.
didn't make the NFC Championship, did they?
They were the divisional.
Who'd they lose to?
The 49ers.
They smoked the Cowboys. Oh, the 49ers. Duh.
49ers. Okay, Goodell's at the podium. Let's see what we got here. Let us see what we got. We finally have a defensive player selected.
Ooh.
Latu. Edge. UCLA.
Yeah. Darn. I was hoping we get through half a round.
You got to 15. You got to 15 before
you'll never see that again. I guarantee you. I would be willing to bet my life savings you'll never, ever, ever see one side of the ball be the first 15 picks in the draft like that again. That was absolutely mind-blowing. Oh well.
This is a tweet from a reporter. That's Benjamin Solak. I don't know who he's with, but he's got a pretty decent Twitter following.
Okay.
The Falcons are the first team in NFL history to give a quarterback $45 million per year, then draft a different quarterback at 8th overall and not tell the first guy about the second guy.
Wow.
You can't make this draft up, man. Like, it's unbelievable.
Like I said, just it shows the pure desperation to have the quarterback play be like the main focus on it, but I
didn't expect that. I didn't expect Penix and Nix to go as early as
no.
Maybe they go in the first round, maybe late, but like a team trades up to maybe get back into the round to get a quarterback. But dude, 8th overall for Penix. Guy was talked about as a second round pick or a late first round pick. Unbelievable. Atlanta, my buddy goes, Atlanta's running a classic Madden dynasty right there. Where you take a pick that high to have a quarterback, even though you got a guy. Right. You're just like, I'm going to get rid of this guy after a year.
Freaking crazy.
Wow.
Seattle was another one that actually could have been in on QB, right? Unless they're sold on, not Geno, but I'm trying to think like.
They have Drew Lock.
Yeah, they actually gave him.
Yeah, I would have seen them in on a quarterback, but they're not the type of team right now that I would see reaching to take one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll eat my words here, and you'll see Spencer Rattler going.
Oh my God, that would be Spencer Rattler is like, isn't he like projected to be like a 4th round pick or something?
He's down there. He's down the list.
Low. Watch him have the best career out of any of them that were drafted, though. That would be fitting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. I just want to see here if I can get back to my best available here. Who is the best available quarterback right now? Spencer Rattler. Rattler is the best.
The only quarterback left available at this point.
Yeah, I must be like dead live because I have the ESPN site up right now and I have the stream up and my times are identical.
Wow. As I say, I just got the alert from ESPN saying record set with first 14 picks, all offensive players. Previous mark of most offensive players to open a draft was 7.
Wow.
They doubled it.
That's wild.
That's why I said you'll never see that again. There's
never see it
way.
again.
There's no way that like defensively or offensively you'll ever see that many from one side of the ball go like that again. I've never seen anything like that. But what did I tell you? I mean, I kind of feel like the whole thing that I was saying at the beginning of the draft, though, was like the Jaden Daniels thing was kind of what was going to kick it off, right? Depending on what Washington did with that number 2 pick, because there were so many rumors flying around where they were looking at Daniels, they were looking at May, they were looking at McCarthy. It was just like, obviously, I think they went the more logical route, I guess you could say, with what made more sense for them. But I think that was, like I said, was what was going to cause that chain reaction to be like, okay, well, Patriots were going to sit and wait and see what Washington does, base their pick off of that, and then did the domino started falling. But I think a big part too was the Chargers one as well, not taking a receiver or something to give Herbert more help, or you got Joe Alt going where he did, and then again to turn around and to see Penix go at 8, which was a mind. Like I said, I think his pick is still the one that baffles me more than anything, because I just was not expecting him to go top 10.
Yeah.
The Bo Nix one didn't floor me as much, I guess, after that, because it was like Denver had to do something.
Yeah,
Denver had to do something. There was just no other option for them. So it was like, I don't know. It's crazy that
Seattle's pick is in.
Pick is in. Freaking A. Full disclosure. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Nope. All you, buddy.
All right. I was just going to say, full disclosure for anybody that is either with us live right now, we are most likely going to be calling it a live stream after this final pick is put in here. It's getting a little late for the two of us. We unfortunately do have to work tomorrow.
And we're old.
At least I'm good looking. I can't speak for Burgess. But we'll wait and see what the Seahawks pick's going to be. We'll do a quick kind of been doing a little bit of a wrap up right now, I think. But we'll just go over, I think, real quickly, Burge, if you want to talk on, maybe put your Patriots bias aside and let's go with what you think was probably the best pick. And we won't go with the worst pick, because I think we both know that Penix probably will be taking the cake on that one. So we'll think about it a little bit while Seattle's still considering who they're taking here, and let's give our best picks from the top half of the first round. But yeah, like I said, to rehash earlier what we were saying, Travi, my man, I'm gonna smack you. I'm gonna smack you. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna smack you, but that wide receiver room does look cute in New England. It does.
Watch, we're gonna end our live stream, and the Patriots are gonna trade up for a receiver. That's what's gonna happen. And then I'm gonna have to find out how I can get a hold of Travi and be like,
"Yep, well, he's in the Discord. So if you gotta go after him, you got a good place to start. So you can hound him in the football section of my Discord there. So, but it's all good. We love the interactions. We love everything with you guys. So we appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Mel Kiper, dude, I swear, I keep saying this. Dude, it looks like he's gonna have like a breakdown. He's just so violent with his animations and his movements. The way he talks, he's shaking his head when he talks. It's like, oh my God.
The funny part, though, that I guess it's kind of sad, is that if he's so good at doing the draft and analyzing and picking players and stuff, it's like, how come nobody's ever thrown the bag at him to be like, well, come be our GM and make us a Super Bowl contender?
Because he's not that good. He's just a good personality, right?
Right. That's what I mean. It's
maybe he didn't want to do it. You could also say that maybe he didn't want to do it, right?
It's potentially. Travi, no, we appreciate you, but we appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for hanging out with us and chatting with us and hanging out and making fun of our New Englandness and being a good sport with us, talking smack about the Jets. It's always fun to have good, friendly rivalries and whatnot. I mean,
It gave us a way to redirect it. It gave us a way to redirect it.
That's right. That's right. As you can tell, Burgess and I are old best friends, but we still love to give each other shit as much as we possibly can, drive each other insane. So appreciate you more than you know. But like I said, bigger and better things are coming. I'm like I said, speaking for myself here, and I know Burge probably will echo the sentiment, but I'm very, very excited about the direction that we're going in with the podcast and doing more events like this with live streams and doing a lot more things for you guys, the listeners out there, where, like I said, we love getting the feedback. We love the contributions from the listeners. We love hearing things, like I said, and we take constructive criticism. If something we do sucks, tell us. We'd love to know about it. And like I said, it's comments like that right there that just make us want to keep getting better and do bigger and better things for you guys. And we echo it right back to you guys that we love you back. So
Goodell is at the podium. Seattle. Selects. Just say it.
You going on a big spiel?
Byron Murphy II.
Why do I know that name?
Texas.
That's why I know that name. Wow.
Big boy.
Wow.
16th overall. So we're going to start seeing a run on the defensive side of things. Maybe we'll start seeing a run on that. I gotta think trades are coming. We're gonna think trades are coming that we will not be live for, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Due to work schedules. Jacksonville's now on the clock. I'll probably be tweeting about it for a little bit. So follow me on Twitter at Burge the Goalie. Hogan's at nhogan71. 71, you did hear his pitch for his Twitch channel. So be sure to check that out if you're a gaming guy like the two of us are. Wow, Jacksonville traded the pick. It's Minnesota again.
Ooh.
Up from 23.
Here we go. It's going to get interesting now. But like I said, at this point, real quick to wrap it up, Burge, you got a first pick in the early round that you really, really like? Anything that jumps out at you? If not, we can talk about it later. I just figured I'd throw you on the spot.
I like the fit with Adunze in Chicago, using that second round pick on a wide receiver to start kind of letting their first overall prize possession, Caleb Williams, start his development.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen him get Marvin Harrison trade up. There was all the talk, pre-draft about all that. I think that just pairing that with him there is. We'll see if it works. Obviously, we don't know if it's going to work, but I think they're starting off on the right foot, getting those guys together to have that combination of those. And, you're seeing the contracts with the wide receivers now go through the roof. So getting those two positions that are very, very expensive on rookie deals together with first round picks and the 5th-year option available, if it works out, I think it's a good play. How about you?
Well, believe it or not, I actually have to go with Minnesota, with JJ McCarthy. I know, shocking, right? Kind of felt like blowing your mind to end the live stream a little bit here. But I actually do think, because based off of what happened in the first 9 picks, they were in a corner. But I also do think that they really liked McCarthy from the get-go. The pick is in for the second one.
He's announcing it right now.
Okay. I'll let you let it run a little bit so we can see it.
Show his name, bro. I don't know who this guy is. They're not showing his name. Somebody at the draft. So it's a pick of somebody at the draft. It
might have been the Toledo cornerback they were showing earlier.
Jacksonville Jaguars selection. They're all messed up. They're all messed up here. They just showed Jacksonville Jaguars selection, and they didn't even show his name.
Oh boy.
ESPN. Boy. Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner.
Okay. All right.
Defensive edge rusher. So okay.
Perfect time. Perfect time. Maverick's getting upset because the wife is just getting home from work. But
He made an appearance here too. Love it.
yeah, right. Yeah, I agree, Travi. Like I said, I think McCarthy's going into a good situation. Like I said, I think just based around what that pick was for Minnesota, I think that's probably going to work out for him. Hopefully, in the end, if he's able to develop and build a repertoire with Justin Jefferson and Addison and those guys. So I think McCarthy will be okay in the long run if he's not thrown into the fire right away. But I do like that pick a lot. Obviously, I love the Marvin Harrison Jr. pick. Unfortunately, he went to the wrong team, but I do like the pick where he was at. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, anyone who is still hanging out with us, two grumpy old men, we appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for joining us tonight with the live draft little event here we did. It was a lot of fun. We'll be sure to do a lot more going forward. But until then, you can catch us on the socials, as Burge said earlier. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. I'm on Twitch. I don't know. Is there any other social? I mean, YouTube. I'm on TikTok. The Breaking the Plane's not on TikTok. Well,
it will be soon. It will be.
Well, potentially for the next 2 months before the government.
So that's outlawed.
But again, we love all you guys. Thank you so much for everything, and we'll hopefully see you in the next podcast for next Thursday, all about all of our draft thoughts. So stay tuned.
Be sure to check out that podcast drop next Thursday. We are going to have a special guest on the podcast next week. Friend of the pod, goat of the bathroom story, Manish Mehta will be joining us again for next week's episode. So be sure to check that out if you want to maybe get some more hilarious stories that you're not going to hear anywhere else, really. You're not going to get the bathroom stories anywhere else. So be sure to check us out there. As Hogan said, catch us on the socials, DM us. Tell me my takes suck. I'm used to it.
Gladly. Gladly, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that for free.
Be sure to check it out. As always, thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you around. Go Patriots, baby.
Woo! Peace.